Ba-da-boo-boo. Hi. I've decided I'm going to rank all of the Twilight vampires, more specifically the Cullens, because I don't know how the rest of them are, based on how they died. I'll be using no resources and purely my knowledge and memory from reading the books a couple months ago. Because, of course, I'm into Twilight. We'll be starting off with Carlisle Cullen. So Carlisle's a doctor, amazing, but he died while vampires were ransacking his city, and he was trying to protect his church that his dad ran, and then he was like hidden in an alleyway for 3 days, just slowly turning and burning with his hand. That's how he died. It's not particularly like fancy or anything, but it does have some good flair and pizzazz to it. So we'll put him as our baseline because we're going in order of when they were turned into vampires. So there's Carlisle. We love him though. Carlisle's amazing. He is the dad of this family. Next is Edward. Edward is the main love interest in Twilight. I'm sure all of you know that. He is very overdramatic, but he just died with the Spanish flu. There's nothing particular, like, it's sad, and I don't mean to offend anyone who with these deaths, because, like, yes, it is death, it is sad, but also these are fictional characters from Twilight. So if you're offended by my rankings, I'm very sorry, but you shouldn't be. Thank you. Edward dying of the Spanish flu. It doesn't have that same pizzazz as being like hunted down through the streets of wherever Carlisle's from, running away from vampires and trying to defend. He just got sick. And like, yes, pandemics are sad, we're living through one, but for your fictional vampire to die of the Spanish flu, you're just kind of like, meh. There are better ways to create, like, it doesn't have that same drama, if you get what I'm saying. So this is gonna go under Carlisle. Next we have Esme, who's like the mom of the group. Hers is really sad. I don't mean to be laughing because it is sad, but she tries to commit trigger warning. She tries to jump off a cliff and commit suicide after she lost her child. This one is very sad. It hurts my soul, but not like in a meh. It's just so sad. And then Carlisle turns her because he loved her and was stalking her. Does give her lots of trauma. So that's like not good, but also Esme's a queen and she deserves love, and she is the only Cullen that was turned with a fully developed brain, and so she deserves to be at the top for now because of that. Oh, I wrote her name a lot bigger than the others. Maybe it's just because I love her the most. Then we have Rosalie. I still don't know how to pronounce. I've watched all the movies and read all the books, including Midnight Freaking Sun, and I still don't know how to pronounce her name. I don't. We're just gonna call her Rose for my own sake. Hers is also really sad and traumatic and bad. More trigger warnings for it's not good. So she was raped by her fiance, and then him and all his friends murdered her in the middle of the street, and then Carlisle was like, well, I'll turn you into a vampire and then you can be friends with Edward because Edward is really lonely. I really like Rose, and I wish Stephenie Meyer developed her character to be, like, better instead of just really mean. But purely for the way she was turned, she's gonna end up in between Edward and Carlisle. That was a bad taping job. That's okay. Next we have Emmett. Emmett tried to fight a bear, and then he died. And then Rose saw him and was like, oh, he's so cute and I'm in love with him. And then she made Carlisle turn him. And therefore, because of the epic love story, and like their love story is better than the main love story of Twilight, and you cannot argue with me on that. Or I guess you can, but I would win. So, Death via Bear is at the top of the list because it's so good. Jasper. Disappointed in you, Jasper. He was a Confederate soldier, and he didn't even die during battle. He was, like, seduced by 3 vampires who turned him, and then he killed, like, newborn vampires. Jasper. Jasper, no. It does have that pizzazz. It does have that punch. It's very intriguing, but also it's so bad, so I don't know where to put him. He can go there. He's going in between Rose and Carlisle because it has that pizzazz that we're looking for. It really does. It just also is so horrible, but I live for the drama. Next, Alice Cullen. Alice was in a mental hospital, and then her lover snuck her out, who would just have, so a staff member at the mental hospital fell in love with Alice, and she was in there because she could see the future. And so that staff worker who happened to be a vampire snuck her out of the mental hospital, but then she was attacked by James from the first book, who's like the villain there. And then, yeah, and that's very intriguing, you know? So we're gonna, oh yeah, and then she woke up as a vampire with no memory in the middle of the woods. I do love Alice. Alice is my favorite Cullen because she is the best one. So what should I do? She's definitely above Carlisle because the drama in her story is unparalleled. Does she deserve the top? Does she beat out Emmett killed by a bear, Cullen? Oh, I think she does. I think she beats Emmett. Oh. She's going at the top. Bella. Bella died giving birth to a demon baby. Bella, no, I can't with Bella. Demon baby, bad. Demon baby, bad. The baby is creepy. Let the baby be a baby. And I don't like Renesmee's plot line. Bad. And after Bella becomes a vampire, she's so boring. Like, she was kind of boring before, but then she becomes a vampire, and then she's like, yeah, and then Edward and Bella don't have anything interesting going on. They just like a happy family with a baby, and like, yeah, good for them, but also, what? Like, there's a fight happening, but it's not really a fight because they don't do anything. It makes no sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't like it. And then she's a jerk to her. She, like, alienates her dad. And I'm like, no. Charlie Swan deserves all the rights. Charlie should know what's happening. If Charlie was a vampire and got turned for any reason, I don't care what his story is, he'd be at the top of this list because Charlie deserves more love than he gets. And lastly, this doesn't technically count, but it's Renesmee. I think I spelled it wrong, but Renesmee is... I have so many issues with her, and she's going at the bottom, but I just put her in here so I could dish. So, Renesmee is no good at all. Why would Stephanie Meyer write that? Write this demon child into existence? She is fated to be in love with Jacob. And I liked Jacob until book 3, which I think is everyone's thing, where he kisses Bella without consent. It's no good. And yeah, Stephanie Meyer doesn't let this poor child be a child. She's like, she looks like a tiny adult. And I'm like, that is so weird. Just let them have a baby. Let it be an actual baby. Not a weird sprite-like child thing. I hate it. I hate it so much. But, I guess this is my ranking. Alice is at the top because she's the best character in the whole series, or at least she's my favorite. Then Emmett killed by Bear Cullen because I think it's really funny. Esme because it's sad and she's got the drama going on. And Esme deserves more screen time and book time, but she didn't get it. Like, she gets that one beautiful moment where she cooks Bella an Italiano because her name is Bella, and that's like queen. Mwah, love her. Carlisle, because he was chased through a city by vampires and then attacked, and honestly, kind of same, kind of love that. Jasper, because murderous boy. He's in love with Alice, and I love Alice so much. Rose, because she could have been so good. She could have been so good if Stephanie Meyer gave her justice. Stephanie Meyer did Rose dirty, and I think that should be acknowledged and talked about. Edward, because it's boring and he's Edward. Bella, because she died for demon baby. Thank you. This is my ranking. These are fictional people with fictional deaths, so I did not mean to upset anyone in case people are triggered by this. I'm so sorry. This is just me having fun and ripping on one of my favorite book series. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.